Hey students, Alex from Mizo Education here. Today we're going to aim to master the techniques of expanding brackets. So put on your headphones and let's zone in. Today we're going to focus on two types of bracket expansion. The first is your standard form, where you have a number or a pronumeral on the outside of a bracket, and inside the bracket there are two or more terms. The second form is known as binomial expansion, where you have two sets of brackets and you are expanding them. Let's start with our fundamental standard bracket expansion. For example, let's say we have 2 bracket x plus 5. Now when we expand brackets, we use something known as a crab claw technique. Now in this form, whenever you have something outside the bracket, this is going to multiply with both the terms individually inside the bracket. So it would look something like this. 2 will multiply with x, and then 2 will multiply with plus 5. If we expand and rewrite this underneath, we get 2 times x, which gives us 2x, 2 times plus 5, which gives us plus 10. And that is how we do standard bracket expansion. Let's do another walkthrough example. In this example, let's say we have 3a on the outside, and inside the bracket we have a plus 2b. We are again going to use the same crab claw technique to expand the brackets. So in this case, we will have 3a, which is on the outside, multiplying with the first term inside the bracket, which is a, and then we will have 3a multiplying with the second term inside the bracket, which is 2b. If we were to expand and rewrite this, we get 3a times a, which gives us 3a squared, plus 3a times 2b. 3 times 2 gives us 6. A times b, because they are not like pronumerals, will just group together. So we will in the end get 6ab. And that is how we expand brackets. Now let's go through the second type of bracket expansion, which is known as binomial expansion. Now binomial expansion has two sets of brackets, so it looks something like this. For example, x plus 4 in one bracket, and in another bracket we have x plus 2. When expanding binomials, we use the same crab claw technique. However, it is slightly different because this time we do it in two phases. The first phase deals with the first half of the equation, where x is multiplying with both terms in the second bracket over here. And then the second half deals with the second term in the first bracket, which is 4, multiplying with again both terms in the second bracket. So if we were to put arrows and show how to multiply, let's do this together. We would have x multiplying with the first term in the second bracket, which is x. We would then have x multiplying with 2, which is the second term in the second bracket. That would be the first half of your expansion done. The second half deals with this 4. The 4 is going to now multiply with the first term in the second bracket, which is x, and then the 4 will multiply with the second term in the second bracket, which is 2. And that will give you the second half of the expansion. So if we were to rewrite and expand this underneath, let's do it together. We have x times x, which gives us x squared. We then have x times plus 2, which is 2x. So plus 2x. That's the first half done. The second half deals with this 4 multiplying with the two terms. So 4 times x gives us plus 4x. And then 4 times plus 2 gives us plus 8. And that is your expansion done. However, there is one key step that is crucial when expanding binomials, and that is the simplification process. Here, we can see that we have some like terms. In this case, 2x and 4x. Because they are like terms, they can combine together and give us an even simpler answer. So if we were to combine this and simplify this overall, we would get x squared plus 2x plus 4x gives us 6x, then plus 8. And that would be our final answer. Let's do one more walkthrough example. In this example, let's say we have, in brackets, a minus 3, and in the second bracket, we have b plus 7. We are again going to use the same crab claw techniques and divide it into two halves. The first half will deal with the a's that are multiplying with both terms. The second half will deal with a minus 3 multiplying with both terms. So let's do this together. A times b is what we do first, which will give us an answer of ab. Next, we do a times 7, like this. A times 7 gives us plus 7a. That is the first half of the expansion done. The second half will now deal with the minus 3. So now we do minus 3 times b. This gives us minus 3b. And then we do minus 3 times plus 7. This gives us an answer of minus 21. And that is the expansion process completed. The final thing to check is, do we have any like terms to simplify this further? In this case, we don't have any like terms, and as such, this is the best answer we have. Now that we've done a walkthrough of standard bracket expansion and binomial bracket expansion, have a go at doing some practice questions on your own. See you on the other side. Alright, hopefully you're able to give those an attempt. Let's go through these questions together. Starting with the first one on the left, this is our standard bracket expansion. We're going to use the same crab claw method. So, on the outside, we have a 5x. This is going to multiply with both terms inside the bracket. So 5x will multiply with 3x, and then 5x will multiply with plus 4. Let's go ahead and do that together. Starting with the first, 5x times 3x. 5 times 3 gives us 15. X times x gives us x squared. So 5x times 3x will give us 15x squared. The second step is 5x times plus 4. 5x times 4 will give us 20x. And that is our answer. Moving on to the second question here on the right. This is our binomial expansion. So we're going to use the same crab claw technique, but this time it's going to have two halves. The first half will deal with the x multiplying with both terms. The second half will deal with this minus 8 multiplying with both terms. So let's have a go at doing that. Just let's orientate ourselves by putting in the arrows, and then we'll put in the answer underneath. So starting first, we have x times x. Then we will have x times minus 4. That will be our first half done. The second half will have minus 8 times x, and then minus 8 times minus 4. Let's expand this underneath. So starting with x times x, we have x squared. Then x times minus 4 will give us minus 4x. That's our first half done. The second half has minus 8 times x, which gives us minus 8x. And finally, we have minus 8 times minus 4. Now a minus times a minus will give us a positive answer. So essentially, we have 8 times 4. This gives us an answer of 32. And that is our expansion process done. Now in binomials, it's very crucial to pay attention whether you can simplify them further. In this case, you can see that we do have like terms. We have minus 4x, minus 8x, and we can combine those together to simplify it further. So underneath, let's go ahead and simplify this. We would have x squared minus 4x minus 8 will give us minus 12x, and then plus 32. And that is our answer, expanded and in its simplest form. Hope you all were able to get a level up in bracket expansion skills, and if you did, give us a wave comment in the chat. This is Alex signing off for now. See you all in the next one. Stay sharp.